My name is Matt Grassmyer. I'm the Director of Operations at HailTrace. So I'm here today to just talk about HailTrace and the celebration of our 10-year anniversary. Just excited about, kind of where we've come from, where we started from, really small company and where we're growing to, and what our future looks like as far as just scaling and growing. I feel like we're growing like a weed, and from where we started, just over 10 years ago, and then even from where I came on 4.5 years ago, we have just blossomed and become pretty big. I'm just excited about what that looks like in the next 10 years and beyond. I'm originally from the Tulsa area, grew up there, went to high school in Tulsa, and then moved over to Edmond, Oklahoma in 2002. Before I started at HailTrace, I was actually working for an oil and gas company called Sandridge. I was working in the accounting department and had made it through a few rounds of layoffs and was just kind of nervous about my future in the oil and gas industry. And so I started to look elsewhere. And I actually met Derek and Leah when I was working at Life Church and kind of became friends with them there. And then a few years later, just kind of found a random job posting on Derek's timeline and applied. And then here I am, 5 years later. So my first day at the office, I'll never forget it. It was a whirlwind. Didn't spend too much time at the office. I remember getting there at 8 o'clock or maybe just before 8 o'clock. And then me and Derek talked through a few things. And then about 9 o'clock, the meteorologist started to roll in. And it was pretty normal. John was dressed pretty normally, and Heather was also dressed pretty normally. And then Frank rolled in with kind of a beat up old OU, a fun mess, I guess, though. We had a good thing going, but I remember my first day just being a whirlwind. We were just driving all over the place, getting phones, setting up accounts, and meeting customers. It was kind of a crazy day. I think when I first started, I don't think myself or it was pretty loose, and we just kind of had to figure it out as we went, and have hired a great team of people to kind of give us more direction into where that's taking us and what that looks like. But yeah, in the beginning it was pretty loose and wasn't really defined. I've stepped more into a role of managing things and processes and really giving people direction on where we need to go on a few specific aspects, most specifically like customer service and how our customers have success with HailTrace. I think we're obviously a way different company now than we were 10 years ago, but even in the 4.5 years that I've been here, we've changed tremendously. Specifically from a staff standpoint, we're almost quadruple from when I started. I think from a cultural standpoint too, we've changed quite a bit. We've added quite a lot of interesting characters that make life at HailTrace fun. And from a product standpoint, I mean, I feel like we've innovated quite a few things, and we're not just a mapping software. We're more of a sales driving tool that helps our industry make sales. So obviously HailTrace has grown a lot, and we're in a really good place, and we're continuing to hire people and grow. But that's not always been the case. I can remember the first year and a half that I was here, we did go through some rough patches where we thought if we didn't make enough sales, we might not be able to run payroll. And there were actually a couple times where me and Derek didn't take a check so that the rest of the team could get paid, and we knew that at some point we would get paid and we would do it, and we would figure it out. But there were definitely times where we were really, really lean and didn't really know what was going to happen or when that next sale was going to come. So some of my favorite memories at HailTrace are like when we moved from the office that I joined HailTrace at to the current office that we're in. Just the struggles that we had and the things that we just had to figure out, and it just seemed like there were so many things that went wrong trying to move furniture. Another memory that comes to mind is the weekend that we moved Heather from her apartment to her current apartment. And just knowing that her being thousands of miles from home and from family, that we could come just kind of gather around her and help her move to a new apartment. And then, just the countless trade shows are other memories that I have, where we just get to hang out and go do dinner together in cities that we're not typically in, and the camaraderie that comes out of that, and the relationships that come out of that is just a lot of fun, and those are my favorite memories. So I've stayed with Hail Trace for the last 4.5 years and would continue to stay at Hail Trace if they'll have me. Just because of the platform that I've been given to just be a leader, be someone who helps drive success, and we have the best team and the best culture that I have ever been a part of in any sort of corporate setting. And for me personally, it's just allowed me to grow. It's helped me become a better husband, better father, just the things that I've learned, just going through making mistakes, and I've made a ton of mistakes and trying to learn from those mistakes, but I just love the fact that I'm given license to go try things and fail, and then get back and try things again. If I could say one thing to our clients and or supporters of Hail Trace, I would say thank you for sticking with us. Thanks for letting us do our thing, and thanks for always standing by us and rooting us on through the good times and the bad. And thank you for your continued support, and thank you for being a part of the Hail Trace family. Thanks for being my work family. I have never worked in a place, and I'm old, so I've worked in a few places. I've never worked in a place where we do have good camaraderie and bonds, and we have a lot of fun in the office, and I really do feel like you all are family, and you make me want to be better. But you guys are really my family, and I love it, and I could not imagine another place to work. Even when there's disagreements, I feel like we always come back to the table, and we provide the best possible product that we can, and we do great things together. One thing that I'd like to say to Derek is just thanks for believing in me. Thanks for taking a chance on me. Thanks for just letting me run. And thanks for always talking to me through different things that I get right and things that I get wrong. And thanks for being one of my biggest cheerleaders and letting me just have license to go do stuff and try things. And like I've said before, license to fail and license to